Hi chaps, how are we all doing today? And it's finally time to for the final reveal. The final reveal of my Panzer IV repair project. So it's in the process now of being properly repaired as opposed to getting ready to be repaired. I finished the dial and we'll zoom down to that now in a sec, and we'll see the few bits and pieces that I've done to it. In this I'm after using, what, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different kits in this. Main one being the tank, obviously, and I did another, the BMW motorcycle kit was used in it, and the engine kit, that's 3. What were the other 2 kits? I used 2 figure kits then, 2 figure sets, so that's 5 sets altogether, plus a few little other bits and pieces that I found around the place and stuff. And there's also that lovely workshop, I'm not calling it a barn anymore, workshop that Simon sent me, and cobblestones, putting the cobblestones individually, single, one at a time. Takes ages, but it's nice. It's enjoyable doing it. Believe it or not. And you know, if you've got loads of time to spend just putting them in, it's I wouldn't say therapeutic, but it's nice. Weirdly enough, that I actually enjoy putting them in. Funnily enough, I actually do. I really enjoy putting them in. So, without any further ado, as they say, let's zoom down and we'll have a look at the dial. Alright chaps, here we go again, says I. And when I say, I mean again, if anybody's watching this for the first time, they won't understand, but I'll explain to you. I already produced this video, set it out and there and everything else, and after about 10 minutes the sound cuts out. So I've been trying to do, there's about 3rd or 4th take. For some reason my sound just keeps going wonky, then cutting out. So hopefully this time it'll feckin' go right, won't it? It will. Fingers crossed. So anyway, this is the final reveal of this Panzer IV repair project. Right, so we've got our Panzer IV and it's been repaired. That's the project. So the whole dia is meant to give the idea of a small portion of a large workshop area, okay, repair yard, whatever you want to bloody well call it. And this is just one little corner or one little section of the repair yard, and there's lots more going on. There's probably freaking God knows what else happening over behind me and over here and over here. So let's start off with what we have, our little portion of it, right? We've got the Panzer IV. We've got an engine inside there. I'll show you the engine now in a minute. Okay, we've got a couple of chaps having a chat, and as you see, it's nicely lit up. I added some lights in there, so I'll show you them in a minute as well when we give it an old twirl. So we've got the main thing here. Okay, we've got the Panzer IV, we've got the BMW with the mechanic there. He's had a look at that. We have a tree, we have some chaps here, they're playing cars, and that's basically the main layout of the dia. Okay, so I'll just right, here we are, we're in the engine. As you can see, I finally got that little engine to fit in perfectly. It really did, it fitted in nicely, even though it's an engine off a Panther or a Tiger or a King Tiger, but it's not for the Panzer IV. But I got it to fit in anyway, because it's a Maybach V12 engine, and that's what the Panzer IV had, but it had a smaller V12 engine. Maybe not smaller in size, but smaller in engine bore. But I got it to fit in anyway, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. So the rivet counters can go infect themselves. I'm happy with how this came out. Okay, I had to make up these little air filters, because they obviously, I mean, it was for the Panzer IV and had different air filters. I'm after sticking them in there, over here in the in one of the little cubby holes in the workshop. So they came to some use anyway. So that's this section of it. I'll change the angle again and we'll have a look at another part of it. Right, so now we're starting to look into the actual the workshop section itself. And these 2 figures here, they're off a Tamiya set, off the Tank Crew at Rest, German Tank Crew at Rest obviously, and they're just there having a chat at the doorway, and inside I'm after making up some little kind of ammo box type storage box things, and it just to fill it up and to make it look as if it's a storeroom. And the two chaps there, they're waiting for their tank to be repaired so they can fuck off then and kill some more people. I've also got a little bucket there, painted it red and added some sand into it, because you know, you get the fire bucket, and we have a shovel there as well. And as you can see into a little bit here, we've got a battery and some other bits and pieces. So I'll change the angle and we'll have a look into the center one. Alright, there's the center workshop, the main workshop shall we call it. And in there I've got two benches. I made those benches up using coffee stirrers. These little coffee stirrer things. Pick them up when you get an old cup of takeaway coffee. Grab another extra one or two of these. I'm not telling you to rob them, okay? But if you want to relocate some, that's different. And you can, you know, cut them to size and make up your little benches and tables and God knows what else. They're dead handy. You can use for multitude of things. And I used some of the extra little bits and pieces that came with that engine set. I mean, we've got a battery, there's a blowtorch, oil can, some tools, and another little bucket. And I just kind of put them in there just to, you know, just to show that there's stuff in there and it's not an completely empty. Now, it probably is a little bit sparse. It probably should have had a few more bits and pieces in there. But I'm happy with how that came out, okay? And if you see here, I have an oil drum here with an MP40 on top of it, okay? So that's the central one. And here we are now at the end one, okay? So I've had some bit of ammo, some tank rounds, machine gun box, and another box there. And I've used the air filters that came with that engine set, and we've got some Tiger ones and some Panzer ones, and another one of those little tables made out of the coffee stirrers. And you see here then I got the little BMW and sidecar set. That's off a Tamiya set as well. And one of the mechanics there, he's having a look at that to see what the fuck is wrong with that. And the other figure here, the Sentry, this chap here, he's come off the this BMW set as well. That comes with 4 figures. There's a chap driving the mic, a guy sitting inside with the machine gun, and there's another chap walking along here with that. So I want to use one of them. Made that some time ago, about a year ago I made that, and I decided to stick it in with that, just to kind of fill it up and make loads of little different things happening on it. And if I move this back a slight bit there, you'll see he's got his toolbox, and he's going to start fixing up the motorbike. So that's another little section of it. And finally then, to make up the last little bit of a thing that's happening, we've got 3 more mechanics, and they're taking a break and they're having an old game of cards, okay? We've got some rolled up tarps, some spare wheels, some oil cans and things like jerry cans and things like that. It's just to kind of fill it up, just so it doesn't look so bare, okay? Now they're master box set, and it's called the Card Players, and they're lovely set indeed. If you look at this chap here, he's got a little puppy in his shirt. Zoom it around, get another little angle of it there. You can see he's got a little puppy in his shirt. Fair play to him. He's not an alien bursting out of his chest or anything. So they're a break. They're playing cards, and all these little bits and pieces make the big. Right, here we are around the back of it, and this bit will be hidden, so it didn't really worry too much, but it just goes to show you how easy you can get lights into your diode, into dark spots and things. And this little setup cost me €1.50. Now if you're in England, you get it for £1 in pound shops. And the pawn shop is called Poundland in England, and they have shops in Ireland under the name of Deals. Okay, it's the same company and everything else. And you get this little set here. It says 15 table lights, and it's a long string with 15 lights on it. And I just literally just cut it off there, and these three worked. Yippee! £1.50. Drilled holes in the back, fitted them in with a bit of putty sealer, held them in place, bit of sellotape just to keep the wires down a bit, and there you go. Little switch on and off, perfect, and it does the job. And you can light up your dio very, very easily with that. Okay, so we'll just give it a turn around. We'll squeak, squeak, squeak. No, not too much of a squeak, squeak, but anyway, enough noise anyway. And there we go. And there's my final reveal of the dio. Okay, lads. Right, lads, so that's it. That's the final reveal of my Panzer IV repair project, and a final look at the dio itself. And thank you very much for taking your time out to watch it. I do want to say thank you to two people, to Greg Riely. Greg sent me on that little Panzer IV itself. Thank you very much, Greg. And to Simon Kemp from 135th Scale Diorama Builds. Simon made that little building for me, the workshop itself. And if you go over to Simon's channel, you can see the making of that. He uses silicone molds and plastery type stuff, and he makes up all them. And also for the cobblestones, those cobblestones, they're individually laid one at a time. Yes, and believe it or not, it's actually quite satisfying putting in those little cobblestones. They're enjoyable, and when you start seeing the whole thing come together, you say, God, this is grand. And it doesn't actually take so long. You think it's taking hours and hours and hours, but it doesn't actually take that long. So that's it, lads. I leave it at that. Everybody else wants to get on with their lives, so I leave it at that, lads. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already subscribed. If you have subscribed, thank you very, very much. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to give it the old thumbs up, hit that like button. Okay, I'll catch you on the next one, lads, and I'll leave you with some clips of or some still pictures, shall we say, of the dio itself. I'll catch you on the next one, lads. In the meantime, stay safe, enjoy yourself, and don't forget, go out and buy yourself a kit, build it, and enjoy it. This is John signing off.